All right, it's SNL, Andrew Locker, Cody Stutes with you. We got to pour one out for, I would say, the biggest personality maybe in the history of the AFC South. One of them, for sure. Definitely non-player biggest personality. I don't think anyone can even battle that. But Jim Irsay passed away yesterday, the age of 65. We knew he was in bad shape. There'd been whispers, there'd been visuals. But now Jim Irsay, he leaves us. Cal McNair, Hannah McNair had some stuff to say. A lot of people in the NFL, but Jim Irsay, R.I.P. my man.
It was nice to see how many people he affected in a very positive way that he never wanted anybody to know about. I know that there have been some agents talk about how he reached out and paid for funerals of players' family members, and Zach Kiefer, I know you're a big fan of him. He had a big write-up about covering Irsay and how unique and intriguing it was, and how he had a love-hate relationship with the media, but he was always fair to them. And when a character like that in the football world goes, there's a seemingly endless amount of stories, and so it is cool to sort of see those stories finally get told, or to be told, or to retold when a character like that passes. And so a lot of people remembering Jim Irsay today after he passed away yesterday. 65, and he that's young, and he didn't look 65 either.
It's not young for him. I mean,
that's a hard 65.
Yeah, I mean, he earned every ounce of what he did. Let's just be honest. We don't have to rewrite history. I always say that it's funny when you go to a funeral, and like I've gone to funerals and people are talking about the guy, and it's like, damn, did I walk into the wrong place? Like, it's like, but I mean, he cheated he enjoyed life. He lived his best life all the time. So, some would say they're surprised he made it to 65, but he definitely did. And he left a legacy, and he left a lasting impression in the NFL. Just to localize it, I think it's kind of interesting when you look at, Jim Irsay's ownership and just how much of a pain in the ass the Colts were for the Texans all those years during the prime of his ownership, because it was a family business. And once he took over, his biggest moves were the drafting of Peyton Manning, which you can make a case that you can sit there and you can say, well, anyone could have done that. But Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning was a discussion.
And I read today, Irsay was the final deciding vote to go with Manning, because Bill Polian wasn't in love with him. Bill Polian didn't love Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Well, Bill Polian apparently loved Tom Brady after Tom Brady got picked. He had a first-round grade on him. So, yeah.
Sure,
Bill Polian likes to rewrite history, but he went with Peyton Manning. He hired Tony Dungy. Yeah, he hired previously mentioned Bill Polian. And then he got Andrew Luck. And, I mean, it's been kind of an interesting he's been kind of the overseer of the biggest obstacle that many Texans fans would consider the biggest obstacle in getting to where they want to go.
Yeah, and he, for a lot of his tenure, he was not as hands-on as it seemed like he got towards, the past few years. He'd kind of let things run. There wasn't a lot that he needed to step in on. You had Peyton Manning for all those years, and well, we thought they were going to have Andrew Luck for all those years, and that obviously didn't go their way. Luck retires, and I wonder if Irsay went to his grave believing that Andrew Luck was still going to play football again.
No, he did.
Because every time it came up, he mentioned it, and
every time for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Yes, it's been going on. It hasn't even been 8 years, but yes, it's been 6 years, and all the way through, the door was always open for Luck. I also thought it was interesting that with McAfee, like he supported McAfee deciding to go the media route, but he always told McAfee that, hey, you'll have a job here if you ever want it. So kind of impactful there, because I think McAfee's one of the faces of media right now, and he's the face of the new age of media. And Irsay had a big hand in that, or at least like a big presence in that too. So I think that kind of lives on with the legacy too.
And who can forget appointing Jeff Saturday to be interim head coach, and that being one of the worst decisions we've ever seen in the history of football.
He had a special place for his players, man. And that's the other thing that you hear. Like, he had a very special place for his players. I thought he was gonna sell equity in the franchise to get Marvin Harrison Jr. And you saw one of the first people who said anything about his death was Marvin Harrison Jr. He said, "R.I.P. Mr. Irsay," or whatever. So he always had like the special place in his heart for those dudes. And you saw Marvin Harrison Jr. immediately say "R.I.P." to Irsay.
Yeah, he's closer to. I understand there's been some hiccups there were some hiccups in his tenure. He's closer to the owner you want than the owner you don't want, because he was not afraid to spend money.
It's kind of a mix.
Yeah, but I would tell you he's on the side of you'd rather have him than not have him. You don't want some cheap ass tightwad owner.
Yeah,
you want a guy like Irsay that'll write the check and make it happen.
That's fair.
And
yeah,
so
that's fair.
He was never afraid. Certainly at the end when they were trying to get it right, he wasn't afraid to write the check and make some things happen. Now, maybe he probably should have wrote the check and made his general manager go away a little bit. But, I think
how does Ballard get strays here?
Well, now you're in a power vacuum in Indianapolis. Like Ballard should have been going into a make or break year. And now who knows? Maybe he's friends with whoever's taking over and he's going to keep getting more opportunities.
Yeah, or maybe
that's fine. Ballard's never going to put together a championship team.
He does like the Easterby Lopez, where he like over romanticizes someone when they're dead, like to the remaining people, like the family or whatever.
Yeah. So I think he's closer to you'd want him than you wouldn't want him. But there's obviously he had a lot of things that he liked that weren't football, and that occupied a lot of his time. And he wasn't afraid to put together a concert the day before a game and expect people to come. And that dude loved him some music, man.
Yeah. So you mentioned, and I thought this was interesting. You said, he's closer to the type of ownership you want versus the ownership you don't want, which kind of brings me to this. What's the personality status of Texans ownership? Because this is kind of a new regime, Cal and Hannah, I guess we can say, like the duo. We've seen them at their worst. I think they had a big hand in empowering Easterby. They did get rid of it eventually. And now it kind of feels like, I don't want to say it's right in itself, but they've been patient with Nick Caserio. They've allowed Nick Caserio to trade Deshaun Watson and all that. They really haven't had to go through any like tough decisions at this point, like as far as like sitting on the brink, like you're talking about with Ballard and all that. Like what's the personality status of Texans ownership when it comes to that balance?
I have to me, it feels like they believe they've hired the right people, and so
they can stay out of the way.
They're going to worry about business and not about football. It feels like they had hired the wrong people previously, and then we're trying to worry about business and didn't worry enough about football. But it feels to me like they've hired the correct people, and they believe it's the correct people. And so they're going to worry about business. They worry about the future of team headquarters and where they practice and maybe a stadium and renovating the stadium. And they're going to handle all that, worry about that, while Nick Caserio and DeMeco Ryans worry about what gets put on the field. Yeah,
I don't think I think Irsay kind of liked the attention and liked to be the person that makes the decision. I think the McNairs have shown, especially in this next phase, they've shown that they're willing to hire guys and let them do their thing in all angles, like whether it's the business side, whether it's ownership side. I do wonder, and I do anticipate, like, how do they handle when they have to make a tough decision? Because even good franchises, like where you talk about good to great, or, stale or non-stale, like I do wonder like how they step in and do that. Because I think they're going to ride and die with DeMeco no matter what. My guess would be like if they get to where they think they're on like some sort of mediocre treadmill, I think they basically appoint DeMeco football king indirectly without actually saying it. It won't be as Bill O'Brien-y and it won't be as stubborn, but I think eventually they could appoint DeMeco Ryans football king.
I would tell you that he's
a big if
he's not the king already, he's as close to a king without a crown as it can be, because I would say that whatever DeMeco Ryans wants in that building, DeMeco Ryans is going to get.
Yeah, I would just say that if, like, let's say they get to a point.
To your point, though, the next time they have to make a big decision, it's probably not anytime soon. I would say we're at least 2 seasons away, right?
We're a few seasons away. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is, like, let's say the Texans get on like a treadmill where they're just winning division titles and it's the same thing for like the next few years. When I say king, that basically means that you have a hand in bringing in the general manager and basically, I don't want to say he answers to you, but it's basically like your handpicked guy. Kind of like how they gave BOB that opportunity a couple times.
The next write a check, make it go away guy is Nick Caserio. If it's not working, that's the guy that's losing his job. It's not going to be DeMeco Ryans. They will try a new general manager with DeMeco Ryans before they try a new head coach with Nick Caserio.
Super chat here on SNL.
Swarm.
HDAV Austin Jack says afternoon, mi amigo. Happy 4 p.m. to you. Happy Friday, Junior, to you. Logan Taylor says the rumors that the Texans are trying to get JK. Don't know.
JK Dobbins?
I don't know what the rumors are. What do you mean? Like, is it like a random Twitter account? Is it like, what are we saying?
I'm always fascinated by how players turn their names into initials because his name's Jacalyn, apostrophe Kalen.
What's a JK?
But he goes by JK with the periods. Like DK Metcalf doesn't put the periods in DK. So I'm always fascinated by that.
I respect it. I don't know about the rumors. I think I have no idea. Some stuff crosses my timeline and I'm like, man, if you're going to aggregate the Texans, like have some sort of line in the sand, like with what you put out there. Like if you're going to try to be credible, like have a line in the sand with what you do and don't put out there. There's a lot of stuff.
When somebody credible or we know, you'll hear about it.
Yeah.
You'll hear about it.
Yeah, but yeah, like if you're gonna aggregate or try to do it, like have some sort of line in the sand. Don't just put everything on the internet out there.
One more thing about ownership that I do find fascinating is you compare maybe Jim Irsay to Cal McNair and his future as an owner. Jim Irsay was not afraid to say that his dad didn't know what the hell he was doing, and he's going to be totally different than his dad. Whereas Cal McNair is the exact opposite. Cal McNair would love to be Bob McNair. Be patient. Let the people that he hired make all the decisions. And then basically keep everything off my desk. If I have to get involved, I'll get involved. I thought that's an interesting juxtaposition between Irsay and Cal McNair because Irsay never wanted to be his dad. And Cal would love to eventually be as revered as Bob McNair is.
He doesn't have that charisma, though. I mean, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like, and I think even McClain has said that. Like, it's not they don't. He doesn't have the personality of Bob. Bob's kind of. No, I won't say like Cal is like a balance between Irsay and Bob, in that he's gonna practice what his dad practiced proudly, but he doesn't have the charisma or the abilities to display it. Like Cal McNair's not going into a meeting and saying, this is what we want to do. And guys are following him. I think when he goes into an owner's meeting, it's Jerry Jones saying, hey, we can get Cal to go our way or whatever like that. Like, I think that's the comment, but he also has like that jovial family business type of vibe that's a little bit loose and a little less button up than Cal that I think is endearing. So I'm not trying to say like he's a balance between the Irsays, but like he's not like the typical NFL owner, but it's kind of somewhere in the middle with Irsay, where it's definitely, you can definitely tell. Let me put it this way. I want to make sure I say this right. You can definitely tell that Jim Irsay or Cal McNair on their own, had they not been born into the families that they were born in, they would not be in this position. But they carry themselves different ways. Is that fair to say?
Sure. I mean, I have no idea.
You think Cal's starting a business from like a couple trucks like Bob did?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think that the Cal standard is basically like, he obviously can't be his dad. You laid it out that way.
Yeah.
But the standard is basically, would dad approve of this? And like, I think Bob McNair would love to have DeMeco Ryans as the head coach. Like, and now Bob McNair would love to see them play an AFC championship game and then win a championship. Yeah. So I think that's kind of, obviously he's not going to ever be his dad,
I'm just saying.
But if this version of
there's a certain way self-made billionaires conduct themselves, and kind of free spirit like sons of billionaires conduct themselves. And Cal's definitely not Irsay, and Irsay's definitely not his dad. So there's kind of a balance there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're totally different.
Yeah, very different. It would almost be interesting to see, like, in a different, like, alternate universe, what they would look like.
Like if their last name was Smith and not Irsay or McNair.
Just what they would be doing.
I don't think Jim Irsay makes it to 65 if he's not rich.
Yeah, I think he knows that too. Yeah. And man, he made some crazy purchases. That the way he spent his bread was very respectful.
Remember when he tried to move the whale or whatever?
Yeah, for 10 million or whatever.
I thought it was more than that.
It might have been like 10 million a year or something. That was a lot. Pretty wild. Anyway, so today we had some news in the NFL, and it was nothing big, but just another rookie contract. Abdul got his deal, and I gotta say, man,
Abdul Carter for the Giants.
Yeah, Abdul Carter got his deal. I'm really just put off by the agents getting tagged in posts by reporters. It is so. Just tell me that I'm being petty, and tell me that I need to quit being annoyed by this, because it really annoys the hell out of me just saying, hey, Abdul Carter got his deal. It was negotiated by the agency.
Yeah, it's awful. Every one of those guys should be embarrassed when they do that. I understand that's what they give up to get the information, but it's pathetic. And every one of their journalism professors turns over in their graves when they see that.
But it's so disingenuous. It's like so fake. It's so obvious. It's either you're shouting them out for giving it to you, or you're trying to give them credit there. I don't know how far the credit actually goes, especially on X these days. Like, X is a lot different, like, to where the algorithm or whatever is not like completely, but it's just like a telegraphed fake type of thing. And it just kind of makes me roll my eyes.
Well, it does nothing for the consumer of the like, I don't give a crap who the agent is. Your average fan doesn't care who the guy's agent is. Like, who benefits from that? Oh, the agent? Oh, okay. He gets to go tell his boss, look what I did. You know? Hey.
You already know though, right?
But man, those people who are on the ladder, not at the top of the ladder, they'll do anything to add to their profile and resume and say, look what I did. I don't know who the first agent to do it was, but that guy was a genius and everybody else copied him.
It's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. Like,
it's one thing if, like, Drew Rosenhaus told me, because Drew Rosenhaus wanted the story to be out, but blah, 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 slapdick agency negotiated this. Who cares? Who cares?
Is there anything else that
dumbass LLC with the contract? Like, oh, okay, great.
Is there anything else that beats you down like this with the tagging agent, the SNL tagging agent like beatings?
What bothers me to that level?
I would say tagging the athlete during the game. I see it sometimes from people like that are covering the games. They'll tag the athlete while he's on the field at so-and-so with the touchdown or whatever, or tagging the athlete, like, and bringing them into their arguments about certain stuff. And it's like, man, these guys just want to chill. Like, you got to leave these dudes alone.
You know what bothers me is referencing, like, awards from like a year ago that weren't even that neat. And when you talk about a guy, like, it's like week 12, Derek Stingley has an interception, and it's like 2023 Pro Bowler Derek Stingley. It's like, what are we doing? Just tell me Derek Stingley had an interception, and I don't need you to tag his manager, his agent, his chef, his workout partners. I don't need that in the tweet either.
That's an Aaron Wilson subtweet by Cody Stutes, if we're just being honest with you.
I don't know who all does it, but it's annoying where it happens.
All right. Trill Kick X says it's part of player safety.
Is he saying like when people
Oh, yeah. No, I went on this rant yesterday. I feel like player safety has become COVID, where like for like a 4-year stretch, the flakiest of the flakiest, like anytime they forgot to do something or didn't do something, they would blame COVID no matter what. Oh, I didn't show up. It was COVID. Oh, I didn't prepare. Oh, COVID, blah, blah, blah. Now the NFL, no matter what they vote on, it's player safety, even if it has nothing to do with anything. It's always player safety. Like no matter what it is, they always say it's player safety, even if there's no data, there's no like proof that it has anything to do with player safety. So I think Trill is a loyal listener. Shout out to Trill. And I think he's just bringing that up.
We're going to have sky judges, and it's important for player safety.
Yes, always.
Or we can't have sky judges because it's important for player safety.
We're going to adjust the salary cap. It's for player safety. The onside kick, player safety. The tush push, player safety.
Yep.
Higher beer prices, player safety.
Revenue sharing between the players and the owners, player safety.
Player safety. James R says, I walked the stage in 3 hours. Wish me luck. Good luck, man. Walk the stage. Do your thing.
Do you have something? Do you have something goofy planned? You gonna like dap up the school president, or you got like a handshake, or you gonna hand him a?
I saw someone when I was
driving. Ice him.
I was driving down Gessner. Yeah, I don't think you can smear off ice. The
president of the college.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that. But I saw someone running across Gessner to the high school in his gown. And I don't know like how lady was. I was gonna offer him a ride, but I didn't want to be creepy. He was already in the school grounds. I was at like the stoplight by El Gallo.
Oh, you're trying to offer kids rides now, and I'm the creepy guy.
I mean, I could tell where he was going. He was walking across the street sprinting from the neighborhood. Seemed like he walked to school. Seemed like he at least graduated, so the hard part was over. It wasn't like he was trying to make the final test, but I didn't offer the ride. I was just like, man, I helped the dude out, but he was sprinting. There was a bus leaving, but it didn't seem like he wanted the bus. So maybe their graduation was there. I don't know.
A couple more things in this vein that annoy me. I'll have an argument on Twitter with somebody. I'll go back and forth. Nobody needs to quote tweet any part of the argument, though. There doesn't need to be any part. Like, if you want to have a conversation, reply to me, I'll reply to you. There doesn't need to be any quote tweets in the conversation.
Yeah, it's always weird. It's always a weird that's always a weird dynamic.
You're looking for reinforcements? You don't need reinforcements. You and me, let's have a conversation. Okay.
I don't like the word we. I did this yesterday. I did the top 5 weasel weasel bring ups.
Weasel with a capital W-E.
Capital Weasel. W, yeah, weasel bring ups, but you don't need to say we either. It's an individual thing. Like, that's the beauty of social media. It's individual. Like, you don't need to say we. It's you, sir. Respect you, my friend.
I also don't care why you've been gone. Like, I don't need you to announce that you're leaving. I don't need you to announce that you're back either. If you're gonna do something, do something.
I'm us paneling talking about the kid, picking them up off the road, check, buying them beer. X. Yeah, Cody used to buy kids beer, 13-year-olds.
They were 15.
I saw this kid just running across the street graduation. I didn't offer the ride. I just thought about it. I was like, man, he might be late. It also seemed like he was going by himself, and I kind of felt bad for him because there's a neighborhood like on the other side of the restaurant, and almost seemed like he was going to like walk the stage by himself. Which he was sprinting.
Kid's got to get there like an hour before anybody else needs to get there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the schedule. You do because you're there. Beer plug. So,
yeah. Oh, I mean, you're the one trying to get them to get in your ride with candy.
There was no candy.
Your vehicle is white. It's not a panel van, but it is white.
Damn, Cody doxing me here on SNL. Andrew Locker, Cody Stutes with you. Here.
You've done YouTube videos from outside your car.
Yeah, that's never happened. Anyway.
Okay, he's just lying to the people.
DeMeco versus the other AFC coaches. I kind of wanted to do this exercise. Let's just look at the status of DeMeco Ryans, because I've said that I think he's the perfect coach for Houston. I think they should ride and die with DeMeco Ryans. let's just line him up next to the other AFC coaches and just kind of get a perspective of how you feel about him. We talk about the quarterback a lot. Let's talk about the old head coach, and let's play a little better, worse, courtesy of a Cody Stutes spreadsheet.
Yeah, like this, I even put the team's colors for the various head coaches. It's a nice little feature.
Support it.
Good. I think we could start pretty easily and just go ahead and throw Andy Reid over there in the better category.
Yeah, Andy's better.
Okay. And we can go ahead and put John Harbaugh over there.
He's kind of owned him a little bit. They got a nice thing going. Okay.
Kind of would be a bit of an understatement, but okay.
It would, yeah.
I mean, he ruined Christmas.
Cal and Hannah had a nice little car ride to the center of the field for Beyonce.
I'm not, by the way, I'm not automatically putting just like, oh, well, they won a championship. They got to be better than DeMeco. Now, this is 2025 version of the guy.
Yes. So Cody's setting himself up to say that DeMeco's better than Sean Payton because I know him. So that's all he was doing there with that caveat. But all right, keep going.
Nope. But Mike Tomlin certainly is worse than DeMeco Ryans right now.
I would agree.
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin with what he is right now is like a worst case scenario for DeMeco. It's like a treadmill. I would rather have some sort of boom or bust type of thing. Mike Tomlin's almost sometimes too good for his own good because you find yourself at like the 20s and stuff.
I've never seen people praise mediocrity like they praise Mike Tomlin never having a losing season. Yeah, that's great. How many times does he freaking win anything? Dude can't win the division. Dude can't win a playoff game. He won with Bill Cowher's team.
Yeah, we'll put Tomlin there. I think that's fair.
All right, who else is this version of Pete Carroll? I can't tell you he's better than DeMeco Ryans right now.
Nah, put him back.
Put him on worse?
He's worse.
Okay. We can go ahead and put Aaron Glenn in the worst. He's never coached before.
Sure. Put him on put him to the right of the worst though, because he's unproven. So give him at least that.
Okay.
Yeah, put him right there. Yeah, Aaron Glenn. Show him some respect.
I mean, we could just leave him. In the group if we want to. He doesn't have to be like.
Okay.
Liam Cohen, same thing. We'll just leave him in there. Callahan's worse. He sucks.
He's awful.
Steichen. I feel like he's had
worse, but he's only won 3 less games with terrible quarterback situation.
I feel like he's had some pretty significant challenges and made it work. But I think DeMeco's gotten him head to head.
Yeah, we got to put Steichen over worse, but I think he's
it's close. This is one of the closest ones that we're going to have from better versus worse.
Yeah.
This version of Jim Harbaugh.
I guess the head-to-head, you got to give it to DeMeco. I think Harbaugh in 1 year, though, very similar to what DeMeco did, minus the playoff win, but you got to put Harbaugh over there, although he's a hell of a coach.
Mike McDaniel, I'm putting him in the worst category.
100%.
Some of the stuff they say about him over in Miami.
The way he handled that Tyreek Hill thing, going up there and crying like a weirdo. Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Zach Taylor, Bengals head coach. He's
been to a Super Bowl.
I feel like he was late. To fire the DC. And it feels like he doesn't have a ton of control over that franchise. Like, it feels like ownership kind of runs his ass.
Isn't he kind of like DeMeco? Really? Like, DeMeco has no offense this year, and Zach Taylor had no defense. Like, isn't it kind of DeMeco-ish?
Oh, I kind of want to put him in the I almost want to create like an almost better, but not that much. I mean, let's put him under DeMeco, like kind of on like roughly exactly the same.
Okay, that's fair.
Stefanski. I think Stefanski's a really good coach. He's
a 2-time coach of the year. He's in the worst I almost feel like as soon as the Browns fire him, it's going to be like, I don't think it'll be Belichick-like, but I think he's going to do his thing.
If Kevin Stefanski wants to coach right away after the Browns fire him, there will be multiple teams with the chance to hire him, and they'll be happy that they got him.
Yeah, he's in a weird place, man.
I'm going to put him in the worst category, though. Oops.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's fair. He made the playoffs with Flacco, and then DeMeco got him, but it was Flacco, but okay.
All right, so we're leaving the first-timers here.
Okay.
So now we're down to 3. Let's do Vrabel.
He's better.
Mike Vrabel was awesome in Tennessee. They never should have fired him.
Yeah, and he's also pretty smart because he got out at the right time. But he went to an AFC Championship game with Ryan Tannehill. They traded AJ Brown, kind of screwed him over, and now it just kind of feels like he has a little bit going in New England. So I would say Vrabel and DeMeco are similar. Except Vrabel went to an AFC Championship game, so I would put Vrabel better.
Yeah, I'm going to put him better, and I think this could easily be worse if like this first year in New England looks really bad. I understand it's a rough situation. I mean, they picked 4th in the draft. It's not a good franchise. They had a reset year basically last year, so now we've got McDermott and Sean Payton.
You got to put McDermott better, just regardless of how they've kind of hit a gap. And I know DeMeco got the best of him, but I don't think McDermott's a great coach, but I got to respect being at that level for as long as he's been at that level.
I wonder if
significant.
I wonder if the 2025 Buffalo Bills are better if DeMeco Ryans is their head coach.
I would say yes. Like if you told me that I had to trade DeMeco, all right, then put him worse. Like, yeah, if we're equaling, if we're laying out, so yeah, put McDermott worse. I think he's worse. Yeah, go ahead.
I think
put him worse.
I think he has lost them.
Just respecting the resume, but I mean, if you put him in similar situations, yeah, I think DeMeco handles Buffalo better than him. That's a good way to lay it out.
I understand he's had some success in the playoffs. He's been the reason they've lost some playoff games. Like their coach.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Has been the reason they've lost some playoff games.
Yeah, that's fair. That's good.
And I'm going to say this version of Sean Payton's better.
Sure.
I mean, look,
they got a better defense statistically. They got an offense that's functions at a higher level. Yeah, I mean, you got to, and he's won a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. So well, I mean, like, yeah, he's more battle tested. You got to put it there.
He won he won last year in year 2 after remaking the team after it was going down one way and it wasn't looking good, and then he had to go and remake the team. And what he's good at, offense, I mean, he had one of the best his rookie quarterback was incredible. He was one of the 12 or best performers in the league as a rookie. Like he did a really good job, and they were much better in 2024 than they were in 2023, and they had the same record as the Texans in a tougher division.
Yeah, it's fair.
So Zach Taylor's basically on DeMeco Ryans level.
It's fair.
We're not putting Aaron Glenn and Liam Cohen anywhere, though I have a sneaky suspicion they're both going to be here next year. So DeMeco Ryans as the 5th best, roughly, AFC head coach. That seems pretty fair. And
there's kind of a caveat because he's way less experienced. Like a lot of it, body of work kind of plays into it too.
Not only is he way less experienced as a head coach, he's way less experienced as a coach. Like Harbaugh.
Oh, it's extreme. It's
Harbaugh, Reed, and Peyton had like 20, sometimes 30 years before
30.
they got to like DeMeco Ryans has been coaching for less than a decade.
So, yeah, and that's the thing. Like there's 2 guys, and in his category you have Glenn and Cohen, who we've never seen, but there's reason for optimism. Taylor's kind of on like it's not a Tomlin-esque type of vibe, but it is a little bit, kind of that you got to figure something out. Although I think his ceiling is a lot higher than Tomlin's because of the quarterback position. But yeah, I think this is a good list. And it kind of shows you, like, as far as the future, like you got to feel pretty good because the guys that DeMeco's looking up at, we don't know what's going to happen in New England with Vrabel. But Harbaugh and Reed, they've been there for a long time, and Sean Payton, He's in your category, and you got to figure it out. And then if you look to the right, Steichen just no good surroundings. Harbaugh, we'll see. Stefanski probably needs a change of scenery.
I'd agree.
And then
McDermott could get fired this year.
Oh, for sure, because their expectations are where they are.
Yeah.
But like if Zach Taylor got fired this year and Stefanski got fired and Cincinnati hired Stefanski, I would be like, what are their odds to win the Super Bowl? Let me make a wager.
Yeah, it is strange that Kevin Stefanski's sitting here and like there's a lot of teams that would be much better if he was their head coach than the guy that they have.
100%.
Like if you told me at the end of this year the Titans fired Brian Callahan and hired Kevin Stefanski, I'd be like, ooh, okay.
And then Kevin Stefanski would be like, damn, I went from the Haslams to the stanky one. Dang it. Ruined my career.
Yeah, I got to imagine Kevin Stefanski's looking for a good ownership situation the next time he takes the job.
Probably. It's probably the most important thing for him.
And that's another, like, with success, obviously with success, anybody can stick around, but DeMeco Ryans, he's 40 years old. Like, if he's really good.
I don't even think he's 40.
He's around for a long time.
Yeah, I don't even think DeMeco's 40 yet.
He turns 41 this year.
Oh, so he is 40.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord.
But like Andy Reid's here. Andy Reid's around for 5 more years, maybe.
He's going to ride it out, man.
Like Harbaugh, he could stick around for a while. So could Vrabel, and then so could Sean Payton. But like Pete Carroll's not, I mean, even if the Raiders turned into something, Pete Carroll's not there for more than a few more years.
Yeah, that was a weird hire, for being honest.
Well, I think Brady's just biding his time till he can go get a hand-picked guy.
Yeah, it would be interesting. What if Brady would have taken over when McDaniels was still there? How much of a leash would he have gotten?
Can I don't know. There's no place for me to wager on this.
Oh, there probably is.
But
I don't even know what you're about to say, but there's probably a place for you to wager on this.
Can I wager that Nick Caley's the head coach of the Raiders in 2 years? Like, I feel like I get pretty good odds on that.
You think Brady likes Caley?
Mm-hmm. Good offensive coordinator, familiar with the way that they ran things in New England.
Wait, a good what?
If he's going to get hired as a head coach, he's going to have been a good offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I thought you were making promises to the folks.
I'm putting together the resume 2 years after 2 successful seasons as an offensive coordinator. Like I'm talking about it in a future that has not yet occurred.
It's fair.
I'm not talking about it now. We have no idea.
What do you think the Nick Caley weekly press conference is going to be like? Just BS?
I think you're going to have to hit the topic just right to get what you want out of him.
Oh, I got this.
Because if you come up there weak, it'll get sent back to you.
Oh, he's gonna try to coach speak you.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think you just got to talk about specific situations. I think he'll give you good specific answers. Bobby Slowick did too, though, honestly, but it was always like, dude, what? That's what you were thinking? My God, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
It was always like, whoa, okay. So you were thinking that in the Tank Dell situation.
Week 15, we're close. All right, well, you're fired. When he dropped the we're close in week 15, that's when I started putting together the offensive coordinator list.
And you did.
Yeah.
It was a strong list. You really did. That's not even an exaggeration. You actually did have about
I think I should take that list of those consultants that teams hire and be like, hey, I should get a consulting fee for the consultants. I'll help you out here. Just throw me a little bread. We'll put together a list every year.
So if Nick Caley gets the Raiders job in 2 years and the Cody Stutes wagering thing, then does that mean Mike McDaniel becomes the OC of the Texans?
I would think that's a pretty safe wager.
Man, how funny would that be?
It's a pretty safe wager, unless, yeah, I mean that's that. I'm trying to think.
High grade marijuana called Kush on the streets.
My bad, wrong button.
One of the Kubiak kids.
Come on, let that go. What are you, John McClain?
Well, they're in an offense that DeMeco clearly at one point was comfortable running.
Yeah, I know. But McDaniel runs that offense.
Well, let the Shanahan tree go then. Go pick somebody else. I got to let Kubiak go.
McClain told me, I don't think this is a secret. McClain told me at one of our lunches that he went to Kubiak's ranch not too long ago. He said Gary's living nice.
Yeah, I got to imagine he is.
Living nice, man. Like owns it. Basically, like got
all
the land.
Land's got the tractor. Didn't he
Kubiak always downplays it when I have him on. He's just kind of chilling. He's got his wife like setting up his computer and stuff. But McClain gets to go over there and ride around in the.
They put McClain in the hay ride. Gary's giving McClain hay rides on
McClain said he hopped in the cart with him. I was like, yeah,
on the Kubiak range.
It's got to have some horsepower in it.
You got McClain on the Kubiak Farms hay ride.
Primetime making a right decision. I don't know how many good decisions Primetime makes. I think he ate like Buffalo Wild Wings all you can eat for the draft. This is the first we've heard of him since that, by the way. I think I might be exaggerating, but I'm glad you've recovered from your all you can eat. But he says he's going to his first Texans game, and it will be 49ers. That would be the one that I would pick this year. If I could go to any game, it would be 49ers 100%. It's a good brand, good visual.
You're going to see some opposing fans there that day.
Yeah, that's a good ball game right there. Sign me up for that.
That'd be high up there. That'd be high up there on my list.
What would you put above it like this year?
Monday Night Football, Tampa.
It's at 5 o'clock, bro. 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but if I'm going to the game, I'm probably taking the day off and I get to start at like 2 o'clock getting ready for it.
You would rather see Tampa Bay at a 6 o'clock Monday night game than San Francisco?
Yes.
That's crazy.
On a noon Sunday game, yes.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. And you get them at noon on Sunday. It's going to be early for them. That's a big advantage right there, by the way. What is that, 10 a.m. San Fran time?
What are they taking a horse and buggy from San Francisco to get to Houston? It's really not.
I'm just talking about the wake up time, dude.
Can't be that big of an advantage.
Talking about the wake up time. Oh, okay. You feel the same when you watch a 9 p.m. compared to a 7 p.m.?
We act like these guys have never done it before.
I'm just saying it's an advantage.
Okay.
It doesn't work?
I mean, it feels like it's a minimal advantage at best.
Okay. Hardo Cody Stutes here. SNL.
Are you gonna? How do we prove this? Are we gonna go ask somebody that played for San? You know who can answer this?
It's nothing to prove. It's a 2-hour difference. I don't know. Like you're the one who's obsessed with time zones.
You're the one that doesn't understand them.
No, I just don't get them. But I mean, I get waking up. I get what midnight is versus now. Like when I go to Las Vegas and it's 10 p.m., I feel different than I do being here when it's midnight.
Yeah, you feel real different because you stopped off at Med Bros or whatever they're called.
At what?
Whatever the name of that place is you like to go.
Oh, Cookies.
And is that
Cookies are relief? Cookies are relief.
That's your new place.
Cookies are relief. Mi amigo. Anyway, appreciate everyone for rolling through. Have we missed anything? Hura real quick has a comment. I want to know what the hate on EJ Speed. He had 142 tackles as a backup. He wasn't a backup last year. He had 142 tackles. Let me put it this way. Neville Hewitt had about that before the Texans got him. So that kind of puts in perspective what tackling numbers are. Neville Hewitt, I think, was top 5. But he definitely wasn't a backup last year. He is a backup. Should be. But
he's currently a backup player.
Yeah, ideally he's a backup player, but yeah, if you're counting tackles, then you must think Neville Hewitt should start because he was, as Cal McNair called him, a tackling machine when the Texans signed him.
Did nobody sign Neville Hewitt yet? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I don't think he signed anywhere.
Not yet.
This is This is July.
Middle of training camp, back with the Texans.
This is August 4th, 2025. The Houston Texans have re-signed linebacker Neville Hewitt. Like, I mean, just whoa! They brought back Miles Bryant.
Yes, they did. He's going to be just a corner, I heard.
Really?
Just a corner.
Like slot corner or like outside?
None of that slot stuff anymore. He's just going to be a corner, just a reserve corner.
Okay, well, what day's cut down day? Because I can go ahead and tell you what the transaction wire is going to look like.
Neville Hewitt had 134 tackles in 2020.
Damn.
134. So there you go. All right. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. Subscribe, like, right along. Always remember when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together.
Eat good, sleep good, be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.